because we're going to have a great relationship with China, President Xi, but we don't want China to take over Canada. And if they make the deal that he's looking to make, China will take over Canada. And the first thing they're going to do, end ice hockey.
Do you think China's going to get their money back from all the money they lent to Venezuela?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but I'll tell you what, China is welcome to come in and would make a great deal in oil. You know, we welcome China. We've already made a deal. India's coming in, and they're going to be buying Venezuelan oil as opposed to buying it from Iran. So we've already made that deal, the concept of the deal. But China's welcome to come in and buy oil.
On Venezuela, do you think that Machado should be able to return to Venezuela?
I'd love to be able to do something with it and maybe putting the sides together, doing something. I think she's a very fine person.
Do you think she'll
But I think I have to say at the same time, the current leadership is doing a very good job.
Did you have any knowledge of the arrest of Don Lemon before it happened? Did you have any conversation?
No, I don't know anything about the Don Lemon thing, but he's a sleazebag. Everyone's known that. He's a washout. Probably from his standpoint, the best thing that could happen to him, he's getting, he had no viewers. He was a failure. He was a failed host. And now he's in the news. I didn't know anything about it.
So what's your response to Claudia Sheinbaum's warning that the embargo or the restriction on Cuban oil to Cuba could cause a humanitarian crisis there?
It doesn't have to be humanitarian crisis. I think they probably would come to us and want to make a deal. So Cuba would be free again. They'll come to us, they'll make a deal. But Cuba really is a problem. I know so many people from Cuba. But we have a lot of people in the United States right now that would love to go back to Cuba. And we'd like to work that out.
What do you want to see from Cuba? I mean, what do you need to see to make that kind of deal?
I think we're going to work a deal with Cuba. I think, we'll be kind. They have a situation that's very bad for Cuba. They have no money, they have no oil. Venezuela, they live off Venezuelan money and oil. And none of that's coming now. And then the president of Mexico, President Sheinbaum, was very good. And I said, look, we don't want you sending oil there. And she's not sending oil.
On your plans for Washington, D.C., sir, the Washington Post reported that you're considering an arch that's 250 feet high. Can you talk a little bit about that and address critics who say that might be a little bit too large for the space?
We're considering an arc. It's like the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. So for 200 years they've wanted to build an arc. They have 57 cities throughout the world that have them. We're the only major city, Washington, D.C., that does it. The circle prior to the bridge, the Arlington Bridge, has been waiting for hundreds of years to have this done. In fact, they have 4 Eagles that got built. But it was interrupted by a thing called the Civil War. And so it never got built. Then they almost built something in 1902, but it never happened. So we have an unbelievable arc that I think will be the most beautiful in the world being built there, going to be built there.
250 feet?
I don't know what the height is. It's just appropriate for the site. We're setting up a committee, and the committee's going to be going over it, but it'll be substantial. I'd like it to be the biggest one of all. We're the biggest, most powerful nation. I'd like it to be the biggest one. It's a very exciting job, actually. They've been waiting for many years, just like the ballroom. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom. Now we're going to put up the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And I could have built a much bigger one. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be in keeping with, I didn't want it to be taller than the White House, etc. So I wanted it to be in keeping, but it's a really beautiful building done by some of the best architects in the world, the ballroom. Likewise, the Arc. I think it's going to be great. We're just setting up a committee now for the Arc.
Could the money from the lawsuit that you may settle with yourself go towards paying for that arch or for?
Well, we hadn't thought of it, but we're going to probably, it's sort of a strange position because I have a lawsuit, like the break-in of Mar-a-Lago, and I paid myself. That somehow will never look good. So when I had other people, a lot of outside people said, what a great idea. nobody cares how much if it goes to good charities. So you settle by giving charities a lot of money, and I think we're going to do something like that. We're looking to do something like
The
that.
charity be to pay for the ballroom and the merch.
No, I don't think either of those. I'm talking about American Cancer Society. A lot of I think they should be probably established charities.
Hunter Rancer, you had
I would say established and respected charities.
Hunter Rancer, you had threatened those secondary tariffs on countries doing business with Iran. We haven't seen those yet. What are you holding off on?
Well, we're going to see. Look, we have a lot of things happening right now with Iran. We have a tremendous fleet going in that direction, and they're talking to us. So a lot of things could happen.
And the Canada tariffs, sir, that you talked about, are those coming?
Well, that was on the airplanes. So you're talking about
No,
the
no, about
airplanes.
the China deal that they did.
If they do a deal with China, yeah, we'll do something very substantial. Because we're going to have a great relationship with China, President Xi, but we don't want China to take over Canada. And if they make the deal that he's looking to make, China will take over Canada. And the first thing they're going to do, end ice hockey.
So speaking of China, sir, there was a military purge in that country a week ago. What do you make of that?
Well, as far as you're talking about China?
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, there's one boss in China, that's President Xi. That's the president of him.
are there any concerns about stability or?
No, I think President Xi is the boss. I watch it very closely. He's highly respected in China. He's the boss.